I don't think he's gonna have a major effect though. The Bernie Bros on Biden's campaign. I don't think they're gonna have
I do think most of the Bernie Sanders supporters are gonna vote for him. Like definitely the far majority of them. But yeah, I think at this point you just kind of gotta you gotta rely on your own stuff. Like, what do you think the biggest obstacles are for Joe Biden in this? Like, it's got to be like enthusiasm, just getting people, and really convincing people that you stand for something is a big thing as well.
I think the biggest thing for Joe Biden right now, I mean, yeah, enthusiasm I can see. I can't disagree there. But the fact of the matter is, somehow he is getting people out to vote like that voted for Trump in the past. In the sense, like when you look at
not as much as some of the other people, though.
Well, he did better than Bernie in the primary, a lot better actually. He beat Bernie. He swept him out of the race.
Well,
in Michigan,
the thing is, like that, he already dropped out pretty much.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it was like widely consumed to be over. So
yeah, but now he did. I mean, the fact of the matter is, so people wanted someone. They put Biden up for some reason. And people want, you know what I think people really wanted, and it seems like even a lot of the people who vote for Trump in a state like Michigan, since it's the only battleground state we've had so far in the Midwest that Trump won, when you look at the results in Michigan, the people who voted for Biden in the suburbs, a lot of them had voted for Trump in 2016. So it seemed like that the people who are really the swing voters went for Biden over Bernie for some reason.
Like, is it just Democrats in those counties though? Like, well, why would
I think Michigan open? They allow. I don't know. I'm not going to say yes.
Like, there's no way to tell. Why would
a
Republican Michigan Trump lover vote in a Democratic primary? That doesn't make any sense.
No, but there were a lot of Democrats in the suburbs, union members, who voted for Trump over Hillary, and I don't blame them. And the fact of the matter is, when we compare Hillary to Biden, Hillary was a corporate lawyer. Okay, and she's from New York.
So you're saying that Joe Biden won those people back?
Biden, yeah, because the fact of the matter, somehow, I don't know how. I'm not going to say how because I genuinely don't know how. I don't know how Biden actually has a lot of labor support. He has a lot more labor support than Hillary for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it would just say his person. Literally, I think it's just his person. Like I think it's just his personality, and I think also because unions like early on, unions like they just want to get they just want to line up behind the most powerful person. The person with the best chance to win. The person who's the most connection, so that way they can get they're looking for the person who kind of hand them the bread, like the person who can be the most friendly to them when they get in power. So, and I think that's deservedly so because they're looking out for their members, they're looking out for a good cause. But that thing, like I think that's a part of it, and also he's much more that working class personality kind of guy. And a lot of unions did endorse Hillary for that reason. The reason I mentioned before about the lining up.
But they didn't. Not as many though. Like we didn't have the firefighter union. We didn't have the IEW or one of the IEW union that endorsed Biden. The firefighter union is big though because the firefighter union endorsed Trump in 2016. I'd argue that one is a really big one. Yeah, no, and I think that when we look at what is going to happen in these battleground states against Trump. Now, do I think Biden's going to beat Trump? Yes, I do think he's going to beat Trump. Do I think Sanders is going to beat Trump? Yes, I do think Sanders is going to beat Trump. It's in different ways and paths that each candidate had to offer for a win, in my honest and truthful opinion. But do I think Biden's the best guy? Absolutely not. I haven't even changed my endorsement of Biden. To give an example, I still endorse someone who's not even in the race anymore, Klobuchar, because I think that she still would have done better than Biden. She has the proof that she can beat in a Republican state of Minnesota. I mean, in 2006. Right now,
it's not incredibly Republican state though.
2006 it was a Republican plus 7, and the fact of the matter is she's winning over Republicans and independents because right now Minnesota is at a D plus 3, which means that Democrats should win with 53%.
But even perennially,
she's winning with 67.
Minnesota's been quite a Democratic state.
No, not as long as Vermont has, for example.
Yeah,
which is where Bernie's from, or Delaware, where Biden's from. I mean Delaware.
Yeah,
Delaware was
they definitely come from
back then as well.
Somewhat more liberal states, but if you look at their, I mean, but there is
also, it's
not like it's Indiana. It's not like it's Buttigieg.
But Minnesota is but first off, the thing that helped Klobuchar with the electability argument is she's won over independents and Republicans. She's won over actually quite a lot of them. She
in her races,
2018.
Yeah, she likes to say she won Michelle Bachmann's district.
67% of the vote went for Klobuchar. That's more than 53%, which is technically the amount that she should be getting because it's a D+3 state.
That's pretty significant. But yeah, I think it's definitely become probably more blue as of recently.
No, it's become more blue, but there's now areas that are becoming slightly more red, like the northern part and the southern part.
Yeah.
The 2 or 3 congressional districts went Republican in 2018, so I wouldn't be too shocked if we see Minnesota as a battleground in maybe 16 years from now.
Let's definitely talk about some of the battlegrounds. I want to get in the battlegrounds right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How are we looking? What are some of the big, where does Biden stand? Can he win some of these battlegrounds? And overall, where do you think he stands? How close is he to winning?
So this is where I think Biden's in a win and lose battleground. My battleground's opinions, which is similar to what many high-ranking political scientists like Cook Political Reports, Sabato Crystal Ball have said. Arizona, North Carolina, Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin are all battleground states up. Now, Arizona, I think, is going to be won by Biden, and I know people are going to be like, wow, really? Well, Kyrsten Sinema won there. Okay, we have a special election coming up this year for the Senate. Mark Kelly, who's the astronaut who went up to the space station, used one of the twins, the Kelly twins. His wife is
I do remember
Gabby
him.
Giffords, the one who got shot. She made the Giffords Organization Against Gun Violence. She's pretty affluent in that area. And
you're saying he'll drive some turnout?
Well, yeah. Well, where I think will help Biden out is that reason, but also we're seeing a lot of California Democrats leaving California and going into a state like Arizona or Nevada. Even Nevada, we saw in 2018, Nevada was never really a Democrat state, heavily Democrat. They got Democrats in every single state elected office, and 2 senators now that are Democrat. Nevada and Arizona are both 2 states. Nevada is going to be blue easily, but Arizona is going to be a battleground. I think Biden's going to win there by a slight amount. Now, going over to North Carolina, interesting race there for the Senate. So we got Cal Cunningham against Tom Tillis. Cal Cunningham is a North Carolina state senator. Okay, he is beating Tom Tillis right now in polls 5-6% each poll. Some polls that are tied. I think it's going to be a tough race. I'm not going to call it for anyone yet. I think it's right now tilt, to be quite honest with you. The Republican is going to have a slightest of tilt because it's North Carolina and they've had close elections. They also have the governor race.
And they have very sketchy elections as well.
They do. Very sketchy elections. They have the governor race as well this year. Democrat incumbent Roy Cooper is running. So that might help Biden win that state. If the Democrats win there, it's going to be a battleground. I think Biden has the slightest of tilt there because he can really – I think he could do well in North Carolina because, first off, he's from Delaware. I'm not saying that's going to give him advantage because he's from Delaware, but he knows that area well. I mean, he knew how to campaign in a conservative state of Delaware back in the 70s. I think he could do pretty well in North Carolina. Now, where it can make trouble for him are the 3 battleground states in the north. I'll get to Florida in a little bit. Wisconsin and Michigan are going to be hard states, I think, for Biden. I think they're also going to be hard for Sanders. And the reason why I say I think they're going to be hard is because those states are so unreliable. Now,
they've been pretty reliable for a long time. Though,
for
right?
Democrats, yeah, well, for a long time. I'm saying now. The fact that they voted for Trump in 2016, then they put 2 Democrat governors in Wisconsin and Michigan in 2018.
That's true.
I can't say because of that they're going to go Democrat because there's no gubernatorial election this year in 2020. I'm not saying no one's going to come out and vote, obviously, but the people who voted for the governors,
they just put in a state Supreme Court person who's pretty liberal in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. So actually, to be frank, I think those 2 states might be they're going to still be battlegrounds. I think those 2 states, especially Wisconsin, is going to be a slight tilt, I would say, to Biden as of now.
Biden can flip back PA?
Yeah, so easily. PA would be easy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because union members would go for him easily. Because that's the thing I don't understand. That's the thing I hate to laugh about it, but I really don't understand why he has so much union support. Which is why I thought from the beginning when he joined the race that he was going to win, and that was really it. Because for some reason, I mean, maybe it's because he was Obama's vice president. The fact of the matter is he didn't really have a corporate past either. I mean, he was a public defender before he ran for the Senate, shockingly.
His career, though, was incredibly corporate.
Well, I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But
so that's a pretty big part of
politics.
It's pretty.
He wasn't like a Hillary.
Most of his public career has been as a politician, a far majority.
Well, I mean, he did it when he was. I mean, so was Bernie. Bernie never held a job. He was the mayor of Burlington, and then he became a senator.
Yeah, Mayor
Biden was
Burlington,
public
House
defender.
Representative, and he did like he
Biden was
didn't
public
have
defender.
he didn't have like a typical springboarding into politics job, but he did have jobs like normal jobs.
Well, Biden didn't get it easy. I mean, none of his parents were in politics. Biden actually had as hard a time, I would argue, as Bernie did against politics, unlike Hillary.
Yeah, I do respect
Bill Clinton. I mean,
I definitely do respect like Biden's getting in, but there's no denying once he got in there, he was very corporate. Like there's no denying that. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I truly don't know how Biden has that much union support, but I think he'll win those. Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, I think will be easy for him to win. Michigan, North Carolina, Arizona are going to be states he needs to fight hard. Now going down to Florida. Florida's an interesting state, and the reason why I say it's interesting because Biden's old, so is Trump. And Florida went for Obama both times. And the reason why I say it's going to be interesting is because Biden was the vice president under Obama, as you know, everyone here knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it's going to be interesting because a lot of people who live in Florida are elderly. You know, the typical people who voted for Biden. Not going to lie, because that's literally what
and who voted for Trump.
You know, but the fact of the matter is there were a lot of young people in South Florida who diluted the Democrat stronghold down in South Florida, Miami, and in other parts of South Florida that kind of helped Trump not necessarily win South Florida, but dilute the stronghold.
But they stayed home, is what you're saying? The young people in South Florida?
No, they went out and voted for Trump. A lot of not a lot of the young people like Bernie. I'm not talking about young Bernie's person. I'm talking about young people like Cuban American immigrant children, which is pretty big actually down in South Florida.
And they didn't vote for Hillary?
No, they didn't vote for Hillary. But I think this year they're going to come out and vote for Biden because they came out. But I think really where Biden's going to do good in is the elderly people. Really is where I'm trying to get at with Florida here with Biden, because that's again where Obama did well, and I think Biden will do well with the elderly people down in Florida. But, you know, I don't know necessarily if he'll win Florida. I don't think he will, to be frank. I think it's going to be a tilt Republican state right now, just because Trump is from the state. Well, he changed his citizenship to the state. Number one. Number two, there's still a pretty big Trump stronghold down there. But I will say, though, after all the stuff that was going on in Puerto Rico, a lot of Puerto Rican immigrants had moved to Florida. As we see in 2018, I wouldn't really say they're very Democrat. All of them are Democrat voters. Some of them it seemed like voted for Democrats. Some of them
yeah,
like
but I
I
doubt Trump's a very popular guy, no matter who you are.
No, he's
in
not.
Puerto Rico.
No, he's not popular down there at all. But I think it's going to really depend.
To be honest, though, Broward didn't really go to that much red.
No, Broward went pretty blue, but Broward had a whole ballot
didn't,
problem.
As opposed to 2012 though. And
Miami-Dade
Dade went
could have won
a little.
If the ballot was better down there.
Yeah,
Broward.
No, but if you look at Miami-Dade, you were saying before like it diluted, but Miami-Dade didn't dilute. It got bigger by 2%, I think. The Democratic vote versus the Democratic vote versus 2012 and 2016 went from 61.6 to 63.2.
Oh, what areas went more red? Was it North Florida? I'm
guessing? Yeah, it was North Florida. Tallahassee was like the only one that went a little bit blue, but big areas were like Tampa, Pasco County, Hernando County, and Citrus County were big.
Tampa went more red?
Yeah, Tampa went more red.
Wow, I'm actually a little shocked there.
In 2016, yeah.
I think Tampa's no more blue though this time around. I think I know why Tampa went more. Actually, no, I think I know why actually, because Tampa it's a pretty big. They had a good amount of small corporations there now that are moving there. And I don't know if Biden's necessarily going to have an easy win there. But I think Biden's, if he campaigns really hard, I think he can do well in Florida. Because if Obama did well both times, I mean, the second time he really nail-bitingly won.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't. I don't think you can really put. I think you could put Obama campaign-wise a lot more with Hillary. Biden a lot more campaign-wise, a lot more with Hillary than you can with Obama in terms of comparing their campaigns. I think they're a lot closer.
No, I know, but in the sense of likability, more people like Biden than Hillary, and Biden went with Obama.
Yeah, but he's not a charismatic guy, though. He's not a guy who's like.
Biden's a lot more charismatic than Hillary. Hillary's creepy when she talks.
I mean, I don't know if charismatic's the right word, but like he's not a guy who's like running a very like inspiring, exciting campaign. He's not running a very like.
I mean, for some people, he is. I mean, for some people who liked Obama,